Jackson Radio Show.
The world, it is a changing. Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. LA Weekly. You ever heard of this periodical? It's not Louisiana. Talking about Los Angeles. And I see a tweet by a lady named Jennifer Wright. And in case you don't know who Jennifer Wright is, she's the author of something called It Ended Badly and another book called Get Well Soon. And she's got a book upcoming called Killer Fashion. She's a feminist. Beautiful screaming lady is the way she titles herself on her Twitter feed. So she has this thing that she puts out. And you may be wondering why I'll get to the point. All right. And it says LA Weekly fired their staff in favor of unpaid, quote, contributors. If you are an aspiring writer and you submit to them, you are ensuring it becomes impossible to make a living in this field. Now, let me tell you something. There have been people who have been writing for a long time and they don't make any money. Contributors. I am not a writer who got a journalism degree. And I've written 3 best-selling books. And I have a moderately successful blog, if you want to call it that, a website. People hate when I call it a blog because it's kind of blasé now. But I have a website where I write multiple times a day, posting articles, my take on certain things. You guys go there, theblacksphere.net. And I make money on my website. I'm not at the behest of any editors, of any brand. LA Weekly I don't need to go to LA Weekly and say, will you please take my stuff and write and put it out there so I could get some. I don't need any notoriety. Would I want some more? Sure, but I don't need it. And when I started my blog, I was an unpaid contributor, and then I made a living from it. It actually is a fairly significant piece of our income. But this lady, she's upset that LA Weekly said, you know what? We can't make a living with staff of paid writers. There's too much competition out there. But if you want to be a contributor and you want to tell us what's going on in LA, we'll move it forward. Now, let me tell you what Breitbart did. Andrew, we talked about it when he started Breitbart.com. And he says to me, he goes, Kevin, I only pay my editors. And I said, really? He goes, yeah, I don't pay writers. Now, they probably do now, but they didn't at first. And he said, that's the only way I can survive. But it's not only survived, it thrived. But see, this leftist, this feminist, she wants somebody to guarantee it for them. And then if you decide, you know what, I'll take that risk. I'll go in there and I'll write and I'll see what happens and let the chips fall where they may. Oh, you're ensuring it becomes impossible to make a living in this field because you know what? If there are contributing writers, people giving it away, how could you possibly make a living? She needs to go back to the days of slavery. So people want to do it. They want to do it for whatever reasons. They're aspiring writers. They want to cut their teeth at something new. How could you do it? Don't be surprised if they start forcing people to pay minimum wage on the internet. You got to pay your writers minimum wage. Okay. But anyway, what was funny, so she put that and I tweeted back to her, I hope illegals take those jobs. Yeah, I hope illegals start writing. And everywhere there's a contributor, I hope the Raul Gonzalez or one of his kinfolks takes that job. You watch how fast leftists will decry illegal immigration suddenly. These people are incorrigible. When it suits them, they want you to, you shouldn't go over there and write because that's just unfair, said the lecherous leftist writer. Let me tell you, as a writer myself now, and I write just as good as she does. I don't care how good she writes. I write just as good. But anyway, here's the deal. I wouldn't care. You want to build a website? We have writers that volunteer. They submit articles all the time. I don't need, I have paid writers. I mean, we do pay writers, but some of our writers don't make a nickel. They're happy to write because it's notoriety for them. They don't write often enough to say, I want to be on payroll. So they'll submit a piece once a week or once every whatever. That's how it works. And for those who say, you know what, I want to move up to the next level, I start tutoring them. Here's what you want to do. Here's how you have to write. If you make the cut, great. If you don't, no harm, no foul. But these people want a guarantee. Yeah. They don't want to cast fate to the wind. Don't you go over there and write for free, because then that's going to mess everything up for me. You know who else said stuff like that? The unions. Don't you go drop your rates, black man that's freed. Don't you do it, because you'll undercut me. And then I'm going to have to get that KKK after you. I'm going to have to figure out a way to make sure you conform. We'll have to form a writer's guild. The only way you can write is if you're in a writer's guild. If you do that, if you do anything other than that, you're a scab. We'll boycott your paper, your online newspaper or whatever. That's what they're looking to do. Because that's what leftists do. They don't want to compete. They don't want to compete in the world of ideas. LA Weekly, come on. How many websites do you know that are conservative? I mean, there's got to be 100 at least. I'm talking about, I could probably name conservatively 25. And so there's the biggies, Drudge and, Daily Caller, Breitbart, PJ Media, Western Journal. I mean, I could name some, Gateway Pundit. I could name a bunch of the big ones. And then you get into the second tier strata stuff, which are good sized, blogs. They're getting, 10 million hits a month. And then you get down there to where I'm at. And there's a lot of us bottom feeders. But you know what? We're making fractional pennies on 2-3 million hits a month. So you get a decent little paycheck and life is good. You're not going to pay for the kids. You're not going to pay for the summer home, but it's not bad. But what does the left do? They have to lament their situation. Anybody stopping her? Oh, I wrote a couple of books. I'm too lazy to write every day. Well, then get out. Don't call yourself a writer. Go get a regular job. But don't be lamenting this company and their move. Was she putting any money at risk, having these people on payroll? The answer is no. And as far as unpaid contributors, are they putting a gun to anybody's head to say, come write for us? The answer is no. So that's the free market. Maybe there are really, really good writers that get paid to write elsewhere. Go there. Go to the Daily Kos or Huffington Post or wherever you decide is the better, writers that you want to read their stuff. But if you want to get a start, go to LA Weekly. I bet they get some fresh stuff. I bet they get a take on things that they haven't had in a long time because they got all these, educated writers. This is why I can't stand lefties. Always looking for some escape. A way out, an excuse. Grow up. Whatever your name is.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.